Welcome to another module from our free wholesaling course brought to you by DisruptorsU.com. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to get started when you don't have any money.
Disruptors. Yeah. See, we real estate disruptors.
How do I get started when I don't have any money? This is a question I get a lot, and one answer I'm going to give you is you're probably overthinking it. You probably already know what you need to do, and you just want some more confirmation. So let me review it for some of you guys that have heard this before. If you haven't heard this before, then we're happy to go over it right now. So there's a few different ways to get started when you're getting into wholesaling without any money. When you're getting started in wholesaling and you're low on funds, there's 4 great ways to get started. There's driving for dollars, there's door knocking foreclosures, there's making offers on MLS, and the last one is working for somebody else. Now, I will go through in all 4 of these in great detail in other videos, but for now, I just want to hit those 4 really quick. So the first one, drive for dollars. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to drive around and look at homes that are in disrepair, in rough shape, that looks like they've been abandoned or just not well taken care of. So these properties, they're either owner occupied and the homeowner is in financial despair and can't make the repairs, or it's a property that they don't own, occupy at all. They own it out of state or whatever, and they've completely forgotten about it. And so if you can help them sell it, help buy it from them, you'll be giving them money so that they can take care of whatever other problems. So things you're typically looking for are broken windows, roof is in really rough shape, overgrown yard, car that has clearly been there for 6, 12, 18 months, or maybe even a few years. As far as driving for dollars, there's 2 great apps that we highly recommend. The first one is Batch Driven, owned by my friends Pace Morby, Jesse Burrell, and a few of those other guys over at the Batch office. And the other one is Deal Machine, owned by my buddy David Lecco. I'll be sure to post those links down below. When you're ready to start knocking doors for foreclosures, the best way to do it is to go to a local title company. What you want to do is find a title company either by asking around or going to your local RIA and finding the title company that sponsors those real estate investor events. What they'll do is they'll give you a list of foreclosures that you can go knock on their doors, talk to the homeowners, find out what their situation is, and see if you can help them. If you can give them a cash offer to help them move on so they can take care of whatever financial problems they were experiencing now and move on to the next chapter in their life. A third way to get started when you don't have a lot of money is to just make offers. Just go to all the properties that are listed in MLS. You can find them through multiple avenues, whether it's websites like Zillow, Redfin, IDX sites, ours in Phoenix, searchphoenixhomes.com. You can go to those websites and you can make offers. You can reach out to the listing agent directly and make offers to them. Now, I know it might appear counterintuitive that you can make an offer on a property that's actively listed in MLS and get them to take a 20 to 30% discount. I fully recognize it, and yet it still happens all the time. So if you're consistent and you're going after it and making offers, eventually you'll get one. And how many deals that are going to make you a profit of $20,000, how many of those do you need per month, per year, for you to be able to quit your job and go on to do your own big thing in real estate? And the fourth thing you can do is actually go work for a local investor in town. There are lots of great investors in all these different markets, and you can find them really simply, whether through going to a local real estate investor association meeting or finding them on Facebook, or funny enough, even Instagram. So you can reach out, find these guys, and what you can do is offer to work for them. You're going to have to pay your dues. You're not going to have to risk anything except for your time. But what you're going to be able to do is learn on their dime, learn on their data, their resources, and you can learn the business from the bottom and move your way up. And at some point later on, you can be an investor on your own. Now, there's a couple things you want to do. Make sure who you're working for is, someone that you resonate with, someone that you look up to, someone that you can see yourself wanting to be in a few years. There are a lot of guys that promise you the world, but not all of them can deliver. So be sure that you're vetting the mentor you decide to go work for. All right, you've done the work. You've pulled the data. You found the distressed homeowners. Now what? Well, now you just got to go talk to them. So a lot of you guys are going to overthink, like, what do I say when they open the door? How do I start this conversation? Here's what I'm going to tell you. You don't need a script right now. Getting a script, mastering the dialogue is not really a priority. What you need to do right now is to develop a callus and develop experience. You need to go get your repetitions. Just like you go into the gym to work out your muscles, you need to develop some muscle memory. You need to get out there and really get beat up. And once you start having enough conversations, you're going to know how these conversations go. You're going to eventually know the objections that they're going to give you before they even give them to you, right? So at some point, you can become the master salesperson. You can master that dialogue. But right now, all you need to do is get reps. Get out there, get beat up, and eventually you will start getting contracts that you can sell. If you're really gung-ho on figuring out how to talk to homeowners, you can also buy my book on Amazon, Active Listening 2.0. I'll be sure to post a link down below. All right, we got the property. So what happens after you get the property? You pulled the list, you reached the homeowner, you met with them, you've contracted the property. Now what? Now it's time to sell the property, because at the end of the day, nothing happens until the money hits your bank account. So how do we move the property that we've now contracted? Well, there's a few different ways you can do it. One way is really simple. It's the Facebook Marketplace. You just go in there in your area. You just got to find all the different Facebook Marketplaces for your city, for your zip code, for your area code. Go in there and you'll be surprised at how many people are looking there. So just Facebook Marketplace is a great tool, one way that's free to move your properties. In our area, we actually have a local buy-sell group. So what you can do is you can talk about, here's what I have and here's what I want. So you just go in there and say, here are the properties that I have. Is anyone interested? And from there, you can actually move your properties and find an investor that'd be willing to buy it from you. A third thing you can do is actually call realtors in your area, right? You've been making offers on these properties. Well, as you've been making offers, hopefully you've been building a relationship with these realtors. As you're developing these relationships, they also have their other cash buyers. So when you got a good deal, call them, let them know, hey, I've got this deal. Would you be interested in it? Or would you happen to know anybody else that'd be interested in it? Now, a lot of people do look to realtors because they have access to a lot of cash buyers. What some people tend to overlook sometimes is that realtors can also be cash buyers. So call those realtors, let them know about the good deals you have, and they may be able to either buy it from you or help you sell it. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about OfferFast. That's the app that we created to actually help buyers and sellers connect. So go to OfferFast.com, or you can go to the App Store or the Google Play Store, and from there you can actually download OfferFast and upload your properties there. So that's another way that you can sell your properties to our buyers list that we've already uploaded into there. And the last way you can do it, and this is something that every time we tell people, they're really surprised. People buy our deals from Instagram. We'll post it on Instagram stories. Here's a property we just went to. Here's an appointment we just wrapped up. It's at these major cross streets. It's this many bedrooms, this many baths, and here's how much we're looking to get. And we have people reaching out to us and making offers on those deals before we even get back to the office. So Instagram stories is another way that you can actually get rid of those properties. You know, I'm glad that you brought that up, because actually one of the biggest myths is that you need money to get started, right? Now, I will say a lot of people are getting brought into wholesaling because of the promise that you can buy a home with no money down. And that's true. I'm not saying that's untrue.
Right.
What they don't talk about actually is it takes money to find those houses that you can buy with no money down. So what I want to talk about though is how to, even if you got no money or very little money, how to get started with very little money just to get your first couple of deals where you can start maybe using money to save you time to your advantage. I would say getting experience, starting to develop the calluses, because in every industry, sales, you require calluses. So I would say the first thing is getting reps to develop calluses. And then after that, if you can just close one or two deals, that can set you up the momentum to get started. And also another thing that happens is it makes this thing that appears to be unbelievable taste and feel real. Yeah, so all you really need to do initially is finding distressed sellers, and that's really one of the most valuable skills in the investment world is finding sellers that want to sell quick for cash. So what you need to do is start finding those guys, and there's a few different ways. There's driving for dollars, there's door knocking foreclosures, there's making offers on the MLS, or I mean, there's no shortage of ways really to get started. But what I really want you to do is pick one and go hard on it. One of the things I want to caution you of is make sure this is not a side hustle for you. One thing I see a lot all over social media is side hustle, side hustle, side hustle. This is not a side hustle. If you treat this like a side hustle, it'll always be side hustle income. If you want to change your life, you got to go hard. You got to make sacrifices. You got to maybe not watch those football games. Maybe not go out drinking that night with your buddies, right? Maybe not watch 7 episodes on Netflix in a row one night. If you want to do it, you got to push yourself to the limits. But I promise you, if you can take this from side hustle to a solid 20 hours a week at the very beginning, the dividends will be unbelievable. One of the things that's amazing is if you find a deal and it's a good deal, you don't need funding. The deal will sell itself. If you have a deal where the property is worth $150,000, you're under contract for $100,000, you don't need money. You just need to call someone that'd be interested in buying it. If you have a deal for $150 and you got it locked up at $100, I'll buy it. So you don't really need the money. Right now, what you need to do is find a deal, and that is the most valuable skill in real estate, in all of real estate. What I would do after you've got a deal, I mean, you can just go to Facebook. Honestly, getting your first deal or two, your goal should not be to maximize how much money you make, right? At some point, you're going to build your buyers list to maximize how much you make. When you're getting started, all you need to do is to just generate a little bit of revenue and prove to you that this is not a pipe dream. Because there are a lot of people like, I knew it wasn't real. I knew it was a scam. It's not. It's amazing. But you just need to close one deal. So don't worry about building your buyers list. Just post on Facebook Marketplace. Get a couple thousand, 3,000, and that will set you, not for life, but it'll set you in the right direction. I wouldn't worry about financing at all when you're getting started. That's one of the other myths, that is that you need to get qualified for financing. If you get a good deal, you'll find someone that can lend you as much as 100% or maybe more of the purchase price. So don't worry about financing. Just get out there and do it. All right, guys, I hope that really helped out. Hope that was able to answer your question about how to get started with no money or little money. If you guys got value today, please be sure to comment, subscribe, like it. And actually, another thing that would help me a lot is if you guys would ask your questions here, because we're creating these modules for you guys. So if you guys can ask your questions and we can tailor all this content for you. And don't forget, we do have our book in Amazon, Active Listening 2.0. Again, I'll post a link below. Hope you guys have a great day.
Disruptors. Yeah. See, we real estate.